Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and cheers, I have some water. How very healthy of me. I needed that. So I've got a bit of a problem. I woke up this morning with really painful hips, and I'm not really liking it at all. I mean, obviously no one would, but I noticed while we were in Vegas that all that constant walking was taking a toll. And it was really hard to lift my legs up and walk anymore, because we'd just walked and walked and walked. And they were kind of a bit achy-ish then. But the bed we had, Excalibur, and the cushions, or the pillows, were amazing. And I always felt really quite refreshed the next day. But this last week, since obviously we've been home and I've got over my illness, I've noticed this niggling pain in them. But today I'm hobbling around and it really hurts. And I know that where I was laying in bed, I woke up and I was thinking, oh, I'm not very comfy, and it's hurting them a bit. So I think that might have exacerbated it. But I'm not really happy about that. I'm definitely not going to the doctors. I'm going to lose myself some weight and hope it goes away. That's what I'm going to do. I know. But that's what I'm going to do anyway. Because to be honest with you, I know we'll say, you need to lose weight. So I can tell myself that. Oh, hello. So let's do the book and have a facial explosion. So today, hang on a minute. Yep. There we go. Ah, it's a good one. Look at that little Grogu. Oh, he's such a cutie. He's right wrinkly and stuff, isn't he? But somehow he's still cute. How does that work? I'm a bit wrinkly. I'm not cute. We get wrinkly. We don't like it. So what's that all about? When you have a kid, a husband and a dog, you never have to cop any of your own farts. There's always someone to blame. My 12-year-old and 16-year-old are my sun and my moon, in that one has prematurely aged me and they only see the other one at night. I won't do the last one. Or shall I? Do this, finish this page. This is Midgard Mama. Parenthood is. Parenthood is telling your kids they can't eat brownies for breakfast, then eating brownies for breakfast after they leave for school. It's so true, isn't it? It's a do as I say, not as I do. That is so true though, isn't it? Don't you think? I was that mama. Although I think, yeah, Paul used to eat so much for breakfast, it's unreal. Even as a very small child, he had 3 bowls of cereal sometimes. Just hollow legs. And he was really slim and lean, but very muscular and solid. But he was never fat, but he ate so much. He ate more than any adult I've ever met. And still, to this day, he still does. But monster great appetite as a baby, as a child. You know. Even Michael had a really, really, really good appetite. Nowhere near as big as Paul's. He would eat a lot, but he wouldn't eat as much as Paul for sure. Yeah. And like if you ever, you can never say, oh, we've got leftovers. No. Anyway, I did a WIP It video. Yes, well, I filmed it. So that's for yesterday, really, because this is for tomorrow. Confused. I always record now for the afternoon, like the next day in that afternoon. I used to get up and record them, and for the longest time, the amount of time it took to upload them and get sorted meant that I had nothing else. I couldn't do anything else. It was very, very difficult to do tutorials or anything. And if ever we wanted to go out, I would always say, well, I've got to do this first. So switching them to the day before was an absolute work of genius, because it just means that I don't notice the time. I usually do them during boring TV programs in the afternoon, like or before Gary gets home, or while he's watching them. And it's just easy because, you know, it's a time of day that is very forgettable. So it's, you know, easy to do. So glad that I come up with that idea. I have another idea, and with the help of one of my subscribers, thank you very much. Now, I was toying with the idea. Now, I have said this in my WIP video, so you might, if you've seen it, you might know. I was toying with the idea of doing advent calendars. So like yarny advent calendars or crafting ones. So each package would be numbered and come in a like Christmassy box. But obviously there'd be 24 of them. And then I was asking for suggestions about my Christmas bags, and someone said, why don't you do an advent? And I thought I'd not get 24 packages, even in the large one, unless some of them were accessories. I could probably definitely get 12 in. So I thought I'd do the 12 days of Christmas advent with those Christmas Santa sacks, as well as mystery bags, because people love them. So I was going to do both. Now, what do you think of that idea? I quite like it. But I just need to source some nice kind of paper and also some numbering. But I thought, oh, brilliant. Yeah, quite a good idea of combining the two things. Well done. Absolutely. So tonight we're at Charlotte's house for dinner, and they're all having a Chinese, and I can't eat that. It really, really is bad for my stomach now. I used to be able to eat it, and then over time it started affecting me more and more, and now I just don't have it. So I'm going to have either a steak or some chicken. I've got all the veggies and everything else, so that I've got something, but I won't be eating what they do, even though it will smell amazing. I'm not going anywhere near it, because it will kill me. Just horrible effects. And yeah, but Gary loves the Chinese, so that'll be his last naughty meal before we start this diet. We're going to be low carbing from tomorrow, and I need to do it, absolutely, 100%. Now, I gave him the option of doing Slimming World, which I thought he would take, because, you know, taking stuff to work would be easier. But he said that he wants to lose as much as he can before Christmas, so we're going to do low carbing, and then after Christmas we'll either do Slimming World or we'll go back to it, one of the two. But that's the plan. I'm not really I'm a bit suffering today. This chair doesn't exactly it's not exactly kind to my back and my thighs. I realise that it's probably excess weight, and I do need to get it off, but I'm kind of very uncomfortable in this chair at the moment. So I won't be babbling away in this corner for too long, because I've already recorded the WIP video, so I've been sitting here quite a while. I've still got that little and bit wheeze where I choked on the tea yesterday. I notice things like that happen a lot. Not a lot, they don't happen a lot, but they tend to happen when I'm a little bit heavy, a little bit. I have this sort of threshold of weight, and if I go above it, then things happen, like I choke on tea or water, I wheeze more, and now I've got hip pain. So yeah, I think I'm a little bit past, thanks to being on holiday, I guess. A little bit over what I wanted to be. Funny thing is, when I got home, I weighed myself and I put 7 pounds on, which is half a stone. And I was amazed, because I thought I'd put on a lot more than that while we were away. And I didn't. And I thought, I'm not actually at the stage I was before I started the diet. You know, I only put on the 7 pounds. It's a lot of weight to put on, but it was nowhere near what I thought. I mean, I thought I'd put on a heck of a lot more than that, but I hadn't. So I figured it's a good place to start, you know, good time to start, because it hasn't been that as bad as I thought it was going to be. You know, America's a fattening place, man. Really is. You know, I suspect the water being fattening, it's that fattening. It's a very, very, very fattening place. If you're a tourist, more so, because, you know, who goes on holiday to eat carrots, you know? Doesn't happen, does it? Anyway, a nice portion of carrots, please. Doesn't happen. No. Dirt Dog happens, or Subway happens. I liked my Philly cheesesteaks. Sorry, chili fees. Philly cheesesteaks. They were yummy. Bit of provolone in there. I did enjoy them rather a lot. I had a couple of mornings, because the one criticism that I have of Excalibur, other than the fact that they've stolen my deposit check and they just stonewall me when I ask for it back, which is a bit weird, isn't it? Someone's taking money there. I'm gonna report it to MGM. But anyway, the one criticism that I have of the stay is that they don't really have breakfast places. You know, it's all food, but not one place to get a breakfast of sorts. So you have to go out and you find mega fattening breakfast everywhere else. But I really don't have it. Well, no, tell a lie. I mean, when we used to go down the lift elevator in the mornings, there'd be a place to get tea. But the things they sold, you know, there were pastries and, you know, that sort of thing. You could get egg and bacon in a croissant. You know, so I want that, thank you very much. You know, no, it's just wrong. And then, you know, there was nowhere else that did a breakfast, even in the food courty places. I'll tell a lie. I had a bit of a... We went to... Where was it? It was Pizza Hut. Was it Pizza Hut? In there, they had a burger. And it was... what was it? It was a bit of a take on sausage and egg muffin. That was what it was. And they were doing it in the Pizza Hut. And they were so unhelpful and rude. They really were. And just kind of really loved their job, you know. Not. Anyway, kind of got this, and they weren't nice. They were just horrible. So when it come to the thing where it says leave a tip, it was like, no. Kind of like made a point of like pressing the no. So absolutely not. You know, sort yourselves out. So they probably spat in it. I don't know. Probably did. But you never know. Oh, extra body. Ew. Don't say that. So yes, not really much happened this last evening. Been watching Joan. Absolutely love that program now. Really into it. Love all the fashions, the music, just the whole story. Like Frank Delaney, whatever his name is. His character, I just love the whole thing. It's brilliant. And it's got that tongue-in-cheekness that you find in Only Fools and Horses. You know, like the times when they're going to try and pull a fast one and it goes a bit wrong. It's a true story. I can't believe that. Watching breakfast TV this morning when I finally did a merge and hobble into the living room, they were interviewing Frank and the other guy that's in it. And then when they said, you know, what did you research? How did you research? And he said he watched... It wasn't Lovejoy. It was an antiques program. And Only Fools and Horses. And I can see that. I can see that humour in the kind of when things go wrong type thing. Not going to tell you what, because you need to watch it. It's really good. But it is a true story, and that is the thing. I suppose there's a little bit of poetic licence here and there, but it is based on a real live Joan. Not this one. This one's a good girl. Her face explodes now and then, but, you know, she's not a jewel thief or anything. She's a good girl. So, yeah, watch it if you can. You'll really enjoy it. You've got to stick with it. But it's just the you know, the time as well. Yeah, the whole. I want to go back to the 80s. You know, the music was amazing. I loved the big hair and the big fashions. You know, it was a simpler world. It was a simpler world, and whenever you see Britain, as footage of Britain, it's unrecognisable. They say the past is another country, and I tell you what, this place has gone to hell since the 80s. It really has. It's gone to hell. We've got hordes of people arriving in boats every day. You know, this place has absolutely hit the skids since the 80s. It was the last great time, I think. Oh, how political am I? Check me out. But I feel that way. You know, the last time this country was great was then. Since then, just, I blame Europe. You know, a lot of people moaning about. I saw an interview the other day, and they were really badgering the Prime Minister about being out of Europe and Brexit and all this, that, and the other, as if it. And I think they also interviewed Boris Johnson, and they were talking about it as if he had a choice. He didn't have a choice. You know, the country went to a referendum. The country decided that we leave Europe. He can't go riding roughshod over a referendum. He had no choice but to negotiate the exit. And I just think, why do they ask these questions? It's irrelevant. You know, irrelevant question. It's just irrelevant, you know. And there's always when first thing they asked Labour was, would you take us back? People don't want to be in it. So, you know, now they reckon that when they do polls, more Brits say that they would rather be back in Europe. I don't think so. I don't think they would. If you just take getting the vaccine when we were all locked down, we would have been way last on the list to get vaccines if we were still in. The fact that we were out, we could make our own vaccines and we could then start distributing them around. We would have been last on the list because we were never, ever a priority of Europe. Never. You know, we never were. So, yeah, I know there's trade and all that stuff, but just got to wait. It's got to wait. No, you know, everyone thought we would sink. We haven't sunk. Well, maybe. I don't know. But I know there was so much that was wrong with all the bureaucrats in Europe. There's so much that was wrong. Well, there's so much wrong with our government, you know. Everybody thought, oh, you know, get the Tories out, get Labour in, it'll all be so much better. Everybody regrets it now. Enough politics. I think you guys across the pond are sick and tired of politics. I watched a bit of it while I was out there. Totally different kettle of fish to ours. Because when we have party, they kind of do character assassinations on each other, but they do it politically, you know. They'll say, oh, under the last Labour government they did this, or if you elect Labour, your tax is going to rise, this is going to happen, you know, what will he do? He will do this, this and this, and it's all come true. But I noticed that when I was out there, they attack each other in their personality, in their life. They accuse each other of being criminals. It is total gloves off, you know. I was shocked, really, that some of the things they were coming out with and saying. Not that I watch TV much, but when we'd get in and we'd be exhausted, I'd put it on. And we watched, this was the annoying thing, we watched our football for free. But here, we'd have to pay for it. And it's like, well, it doesn't make any sense. We watched Tottenham while we were away, which we would have had to have paid for if we were at home. That's the annoying thing. So yeah, we watched a few bits of TV, but not much. It was when we were doing other stuff as well, you know, and just chilling. But yeah, no more politics. That's my politics. I'm all politicked out. I used to be political, but I'm not anymore. I was thinking about that this morning, and I thought they were talking, you know, interviewing politicians, and I just turned it off. I just thought, oh, shut up, and just turned it off. I don't want to know. And I thought, why am I apathetic? why am I like that? When I used to be quite a political person, you know, I used to belong to a party and I used to go out canvassing and I stood for election in a safe seat that I couldn't win. And I was all that. But now I've heard so much backbiting and this and this and this and they'll do that and they'll do that. I think like, just get on with it. It's just, I can't stand it, you know. It all leaves me cold. And I think the older you get, the less you care. You know, you've seen it all, you've heard it all, and the less you actually give a damn about it all. They're all as bad as each other, and you don't care. Whereas, you know, your old self would have cared because it matters who you vote for. You know, if you want this as your policy, if you want that. Now it's like, nah, don't care. I'll still vote, but I care less than I used to. A lot less, to be honest with you. I did say I was going to stop talking. Well, it's not really, is it? It's talking about my apathy. I do have apathy, but at least I do vote, you know, even though I've got apathy. I do go out there and do it. Gary doesn't. He's like, nah. But I wouldn't do that. I'd always... Women died so I could go and screw up my future. They threw themselves in front of horses so that I could screw up my future. Anyway, I'm in a funny mood, aren't I, really? Ooh, let's do some crochet. Let's do crochet. So here's my project. I've been working on my boggy back blanket, but this one I was going to do a bit of this and unraveling a bit like me, unraveling. So this is my third one, and the other day when I got the yarn from the range, I saw this and I thought, I bet that would go really, really well with my squares. And I think it's going to be a perfect edge because I want it. I mean, obviously there's several colours in there that I could pick out for an edging, but this one's in there and it is perfect match. So all of the ones that I bought in the US, they're just a little bit wrong. And I've got white and I had black, but they're wrong too. So that one though, and it's quite a sturdy one, the Devanti. It's not, you could wear it though, it's not that, but yeah, it'll work, it's called Robin's Egg. Robin's Egg. So yeah, hopefully I can get a nice, I need a nice button for it. I do have a sparkly one somewhere. Might be in one of my jewellery boxes actually. I remember putting it in there. I didn't put it in the sewing box even though it's a button, because it was one of those that was on a blazer, and but it wasn't a pin, you know, you can't, didn't have a back on it or you know, a safety pin thing. It was definitely a sew on button. Might have been on a bag actually, and I remember taking it off, whatever it was on, thinking I'll keep that because that's nice, so I might use that. Maybe, if yeah. So I'm going to get off and upload this. I do apologise for spouting a load of political stuff, and yeah, I guess there's an awful lot of apathy. It's not, I don't believe I'm the only one. I think we're all sick to back teeth of it. You get to a certain age and it's just like, you know, the devil you know or the devil you don't know. The devil anyway. So yeah, that's kind of sad really, isn't it? The passion I used to have fizzled out a long while ago. Now it's apathy. Anyway, so anything else I've got to tell you? Let me think. I always think of stuff when I come off and I think, oh, you silly mare, you should have said this or you should have said that. And there is something knocking around my brain that I keep forgetting to tell you guys. I need to write it down when I remember it, don't I really? Gary's got the bug for buying a new car. We often talk about it. You know, I need to get my aircon done. I'm taking it in tomorrow. that was one thing. Tomorrow I've got cancer checks, so I'm not sure about video, what I might do and when, because I'm out this evening from this afternoon, so obviously I can't make anything ahead of time, and you know, just have to wait and see really. But yeah, I hate that. I hate cancer checks. Always get really, you know, a bit tensed up about it until after it. But I've got that tomorrow. But I forgot what I was saying now. I diversified too much. But yeah, there's something I was gonna tell you. It's just totally gone out of my head. Bit of news, but I don't know what it is now. Oh well. So anyway, I'm gonna take my. I've been ill. That's what I put it down to. I'm only just on the mend, and I'm not even quite there yet. Still got a few niggly things that are clinging on, but we had company last night. I was going to go in Juan's live, but I missed it, so we had company. But we're just catching up with people now, of everybody since holiday and illness. So yeah, we haven't seen anyone since before we went, and it's all coming at once. Anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry I'm so flaky today. I am usually, with my new subscribers, I'm usually way more professional than this, and interesting, and I don't talk politics normally, and I'm usually far more interesting and intelligent. Yeah, that's the word. That's the word I'm looking for. So you will find this out, but you know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now. Take care.